And we're live. Another great episode of Wesam's World headed to you today. We got a special guest today. Thank you for tuning in live. Make sure you follow us at Wesam's World. And if you also want to watch the episode, make sure you follow us at YouTube. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere you listen to podcasts. Our guest today, a very special lady. She is an instructor with me at IDSA. She's also a movement coach and an intimacy coach for live performances. Rebecca, hi.
Hi, Wesam.
How are you?
I'm really well. Yeah, how are you?
Good. I'm so glad we got to finally make this work because we had to reschedule a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is it.
This is it. You've had your hair cut as well, haven't you?
I did. It's wonderful, isn't it?
It is very good, but you had a good 90s, flow over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got good hair.
Thank you so much. I get that a lot. There's nothing, I wish I could take more credit for it, but it's my parents, you know?
Okay, we'd say it's a good thatch.
Excuse me?
It's a good thatch.
A thatch?
Yeah.
Oh, like a thatch roof.
Yeah, good thatch.
Look at that. I'm turning UK. Hey, I forgot to mention on the show, I'm officially old today. Did you know that?
What is this? Is it your birthday today?
No. I woke up with the puffiest eyes of my life, so I had to put on cold presses on my eyes this morning, and I was like, this is it. I'm old.
Okay, I've got 10 years on you, I'm sure, and it's like, this is not old. You wait. I'm now like really aware of my puffy eyes.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, thanks.
No, I'm not you. I mean, like... No. That feeling, you know, that was this morning was the first time, and I was like, oh, man, what's happening to me? And I'm like, uh-oh, I've heard people talk about this. Put on the cold packs on my eyes. Felt great, though.
Yeah.
Do you take cold showers, cold baths, anything like that?
I did do the cold showers thing, and then it just gets to the point where you're like, just coffee, and let's just have a normal shower. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was very lucky to sneak into your class at times at IDSA, and I love the energy you have while you're teaching. You teach the movement classes there, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is going to be a great episode for beginning actors, and I feel like experienced actors as well, because I really want to get into the instrument that actors work with, because I feel actors don't they don't understand that, especially when they first start off. They think acting, I don't know what like this new generation of actors think acting is, but whenever they come to our classes, I see a lot of their faces go, oh, I had no idea. It's all encompassing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start off at the very beginning, because I kind of have like a little path I'd like to take this conversation with you. First of all, for you, just a little background for people so they get to know you a little bit more. What's your experience with movement, the body, acting?
Yeah, started as a dancer, did musical theatre in London, so did lots of shows in London's West End, then transitioned into acting because I wanted to tell stories with words and not just my body, which was great. And then I moved to Los Angeles 10 years ago. But I really felt the need to go back to movement again and dancing. So a lot of the work I did when I came to LA was dance focused, cabaret stuff. I just had fun when I came to LA. And then in about 2018, and I did a lot of Shakespeare as well, so I was doing a lot of live theatre in America, touring America. 2018, I was doing Hamlet, and I just remember going, I don't think I want to be doing the acting bit. I think I want to be sat where the director is, and I think I want to tell stories with movement. And there was this idea I had, and I pitched it to the director. I went, why don't we just see like little moments of story through movement about like Ophelia's journey, and like why don't we see the truth of what's going on with Gertrude and Claudius behind 10 seconds. And it kind of really switched my desire, and I stopped pursuing acting in 2018, and then started to transition into movement coaching actors. I did a lot of short films that were all about dance and movement. Yeah, and then I just kept going on that journey. So since 2018, I've been on this trajectory now of understanding the body embodiment for actors. I think the word movement's really unhelpful for actors. They suddenly think, yeah, it's physical theatre and it's big and it's all about, and it's like, no. It's like, it's your life. Movement is life. It's your breath. It's your body. Your body houses the entire library of your life. And if we're not connected to it, then you're not connected to your instincts and that heart-opening, intuitive wisdom. You're totally reliant on your cerebral brain for the work, and that's disconnect.
Absolutely.
And there's never going to be truth if you're not landing in that breath, in your body, sensations. And so, yeah, and that's the journey I'm now on. And now I'm obsessed with trying to find solutions. When I watch actors work so much, I'm just like, okay, we need to breathe. Release your breath. Okay, let's connect back in. And I see the same things again and again, and it's this fear of really connecting to themselves. And I mean what sensations they're noticing within themselves. There's a fear. There's this need to control, so they keep it out of their power, which is their instincts, their physicality, their truth, their ideas that come from intuition, and they stay in their head and they try and get it right. And I see this like, well, you see it, don't you? It's like you're saying the words and you're doing it, but I don't believe you. And there's something about us humans, like we were born actors. Every one of us was born an actor. We were telling stories, we were dressing up, we were pretending to be this as kids. We can sniff out BS when we're watching someone, can't we? We're like, yeah, I've just disconnected from you because I'm not feeling the truth there. You're really in this moment. And that all comes from when actors disconnect from themselves. They don't allow themselves to be this conduit for the story, the text, the energy, whatever emotions flow through them. They don't allow it. They stop it because they're a little bit scared, I think, of that feeling.
Right. Well, I want to kind of go back a little bit because we're going to get to that, especially with actors and this huge problem with connecting. There's something that you said, you were doing Hamlet and you realized, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think that I always find those moments interesting. What exactly happened? What was that kind of crossroads, that fork in the road that you were like, wait a minute, I don't want this. I always find those stories really interesting because it might parallel to somebody who might be in a similar situation.
I think it was sat next to Desiree Meineck, who was the director, and watching everyone and loving how the story was being told and seeing how, when you look at something like Hamlet, there's so many words, so many words. But there were so many moments. I was like, this is beautiful. This moment is the story I want to see. What's going on behind closed doors with Hamlet's mom and her new husband? What's happening with Ophelia when her dad's died and her boyfriend's gone back to university? And then the next thing we see, she's coming in with like trees in her hair, mad. What's that story? And then I remember it was like, okay, can we go from your scene? And I had that moment of going, oh yeah. I need to be in the actor headset. And I was watching some people I was working with that were young and excited and passionate, and I was like, I almost saw myself going, oh, I used to do that. I used to be really into that side of it, and I want to be sat next to the director, watching it, building it. I loved running the warm-ups. I loved finding a movement language, bringing in music, the playlists of like, let's set an atmosphere here. Yeah. And I was like, that was way more exciting for me than my job at the time, which what I was hired for, which was to be an actor. And I think it was that. And it was interesting. I felt a relief when I discovered it. Because I was always very like, I love acting. I don't want this to not be what I want to do. I love it so much. It was very clear. It was a clear path of like, this lights me up. It's still creative. I'm still in the same rooms, but I'm in a different role. And I feel like I was always meant to be in this role. I was a resident choreographer and director on musicals before this, but I was also in the show. And I loved being the resident. I loved finding, I used to have to do a lot of rehearsals for actor musicians that come in, and we were doing Saturday Night Fever. It was a UK tour. And a lot of these musicians, they're not dancers, but they have to learn disco. and I was like teaching them the choreography, and I was like, this isn't landing in their bodies. I need to find some games, some exercises to get them in their bodies, and then we'll do the choreography. Because when they learnt the choreography, they were like little leprechauns dancing, and I was like, okay, no, we need sexy 70s disco, and we need to find that. And it was like, when you play the trumpet and when you're using your bass, you're in your body. So how do I find that? And I guess I loved always that side of work, and then I kept going with acting. But that transition, I suddenly had that memory of like, oh, I used to do this 5 years ago, and I loved it.
Well, fun fact, I'm a world-class power walker, and I don't know if you know this, it was actually featured in an episode of Good Girls. The light just went out.
It was the minute you mentioned power walking.
Yeah, it's the right. It's so powerful that it takes out the lights. Sorry. Okay, we had a little bit of a power outage, but we're back. And with that being said, we're actually going to take a quick commercial break. Thank you. Perfect timing from our wonderful producer, Alex. And we'll be right back. And we're back. We're back. This is so much fun. Okay. So, yeah, I'm a world-class power walker. It was actually featured in an episode of Good Girls along with my front splits that I did in an episode, so you guys can check that out. Why I'm saying that is because you brought up disco. If you ever do a disco show and you need like a soloist, you're looking at him.
Oh my God, I love disco.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm pretty I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I might be world class at disco too.
This world class power walker, world class disco dancer, what measurement do I have of knowing that?
Great question. This is self-proclaimed.
Do you need a little medal?
I don't need a little medal. Let me tell you something, okay? If you were to see, I think with disco, it's a little bit in the hips too, right?
It's all in the hips.
Thank
so much
you.
funk.
I know. You're
What's
looking
your
at
favorite
funk.
disco track?
Bring It On the Funk by Funk Master. Too Much Funk by Funk Flex. Hey, Who Took My Funk by the Funk Thief. So those are my three favorite. What about you?
I'd say probably Boogie Oogie Oogie.
Oh,
Taste of Honey.
that actually sounds funk.
Alex knows that one.
You do?
It's got such a great bass line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shaky Groove Thing.
Oh, Shake Your Groove Thing. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Put disco on, we're dancing.
Wow.
It's happening. It's on.
Okay.
I could go for hours with disco.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's your go-to.
Yeah.
Okay. Respect.
And then anything that kind of like comes off that, like Jamiroquai's got that kind of funk disco going on and things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
As a kid, what kind of music were you naturally inclined to?
Okay, 80s kid, full on Footloose, Flashdance, Fame. I mean, that was like my bread and butter growing up.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, full 80s.
Yeah.
When you're talking about power walking, I did have a vision of you in lycra with a headband.
Oh.
And
Almost.
maybe wristbands, sweatbands.
Yeah, they're gonna be weights because Yeah, I'm that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna come to IDSA in full like power walking attire.
Please do.
Yeah. In all honesty, and I know I don't say things with a lot of confidence, like 100%.
But the power walking?
I think I could win gold at the Olympics easy. Rebecca, easy.
Okay.
No, like blowing the competition out of the water.
I mean, they don't have that race.
They do.
Do they?
It.
The Olympics have power walking?
Yeah. Yeah.
Representing the USA. Wesam Quiche. Ready with his lycra and weighted wristbands.
Oh my God.
And then it is in the hips. It's all about that roll, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot more action in the ribs going on as well as you're moving into it.
You know what, Alex? On my Instagram, there's that power walking I did with Jonte. We did a power walking race, and he was running, the poor guy, and I still beat him. He was running, and I beat him.
I'm tempted to have a race with you as well. I want to see how fast
We'll do it out
you
there.
are.
We'll
Okay.
do it out there. That'll
Okay.
be our preview for the episode. People are like, what did they do? Okay, coming back to it. Storytelling. You mentioned storytelling, and that is the basis of what we do when
Yeah.
we're on stage in front of a camera, I feel like that's missed a lot by actors.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Do you know why?
Maybe the focus is on this idea of how they want to be telling everyone that they are in this show and they're doing this, and it's more about the credit and the status and the Instagrammable hashtag video that they can do rather than the actual work. And you see the difference, don't you? The actors that just love the work. And we've had some like alumni come back and join into our classes. Paulina came and they watched my class, and just the way that they approach a class, they immediately thought, oh yeah, what's my animal for my character? I've been thinking about that. And they come with so much curiosity to tell this story. And like, our job, I feel, as tutors is to give them all the tools. Like, you could try this, and this, and then you figure it out yourself. It's a really personal journey. But those kind of actors, those artists, they are invested in the storytelling. They know what their role of their character is, what's their position. It's not about, it's all about me and I can say that I'm in this. They do the work. They get really curious and they want to tell a good story with truth. It's not about, let me show you my range. Let me show you what, how brilliant I am. It's about the truth of a character given within the circumstances that they're in, the script that they're giving, and to just play.
Do you think part of that is a fear of looking foolish, of a fear of devaluing yourself if you come on stage and look stupid? So that's why maybe they lean towards, no, I'm going to do something I'm either more comfortable with or something where I can excel at regardless of whether or not it's serving the story?
Yeah. I think it's all fear related, isn't it? And that need to control. And acting, there's so much we can control with acting. But the actual moment of acting, now you're in it. Now you've just got to be available and listen. And you don't know what you're going to get back. And you've just got to be available to go with it. And that will make it alive. I mean, acting's either alive or dead. It's not right or wrong or good or bad acting. It's just either alive or dead. So when actors are trying to control it, that's when acting gets a bit dead and a bit stale and a bit flat, and you're kind of like, you've got a great emotional capacity, but I don't really believe you, and I don't really know what's the story right now. I've lost the story. But that ability to be alive is so exciting to watch. It's and I think what it comes down to is trust, self-trust, that you are able to do this work, you are available to feel whatever you need to feel or not feel, and to know that you're enough. And I see a lot of actors that don't think that they're enough, so they push it, or they want to like do the thing that they think they're really good at just to showcase themselves. But that's all control, and that's all not being connected to what's going on, what's the story. What's going on with this character's journey?
I've received this question a lot, and I'm sure you have, and I'm curious to know how you answer students. They seem to take it to one extreme or the other whenever we tell them, like, acting's a lie. Like, in the moment, you have to just react naturally of what your partner is giving you. But at the same time, there's a script that you have to follow. You can't go crazy off the beaten path.
Yeah.
So where's that balance? How do you find that balance?
I think there's, like, I always say, control the controllables. There's so much you can do that's all controlling and ordered and a system. It starts with the text. You've got to connect to the text. What's it telling you? I mean, look at the punctuation. How's it written? How is this character thinking? If it's in short sentences, they're like abrupt, to the point, direct. They're holding something back. Longer sentences, it's like turning the tap on. All the feelings and the information starts to come out then. Look at the text, connect to that. That will give you an idea of the character. And then from the character, then you can connect to the situation. A lot of actors come into the situation of the scene and they approach it as themselves, and they immediately start judging it or thinking, well, I'd never do that. And they can't connect to a situation that they've never experienced. So they start, I don't know, the disconnect starts there. So I think start with the text. There's so much work an actor can do to bring them to a place where they can then fully know, I can let go now. And just go, what's the first thing I need? See my person, see them, and already be affected by them. So that the first line you're saying is in response to what you're seeing, whether it's actually you in front of me right now, whether it's the first thought I've got, whether it's the imaginary courtroom I'm in, you know, that you're playing to. I don't know. It's like you've got to see it. There's it's all about perceiving. You've got to be. It's using your imagination. I think that's a skill that is massively going downhill.
Tell me about it.
It's so sad. I mean, you know, I remember boredom as a kid from the 80s. I remember summer holidays, just weeks of having to stay with Barbara Popple, who was this elderly lady that had nothing fun to do. That boredom produces so much imagination and games and ideas and stories and dressing up and all of that, that now, I mean, I see it in kids now, they don't have boredom because there's devices and there are things. Everything's managed now, you know, like you go to this place, you do this camp. No one has to go and stay with Barbara Popple for 8 weeks over the summer holidays, who's crocheting. And when you're 7, that's not fun.
No.
So
there's so many things you hit upon that. I love the controllables, first of all. Second, the idea of boredom is extraordinary, how much that actually helps the imagination. I remember growing up, you know, we didn't, I was born in '87, but a kid of the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
My parents would be in the restaurant, and you know I'd be in elementary school and taking care of my brothers during lunch while my mom had to go to the store to help my dad. She'd come back like around 3, you know what I mean? But it was me and my brothers in the house alone, and so we're like playing with toys and we're imagining what the toys are doing, or like, you know, like building little armies and like, oh no, this guy's gonna come here and he like we're you know doing all that stuff. Or like long car rides. We didn't have, you know, headphones or, you know, DVD players at the time, so I'm looking out the window and one of the things I would imagine, you ready for this?
Yeah.
You ever watch the movie Bug's Life?
yes.
Okay, so that was a big hit in the 90s. I would imagine, like, you know, on the side of the highway, all the different types of like grass and like trees. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that kind of world would be like in a Bug's life. Oh, there's some rose bush or like flower bushes here. This is probably a nice area. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, you're thinking about it, and like hours would go by. You're just like imagining this, and I think that's helped out me as an actor. And so I agree with you. I think a lot of the younger actors who come in, when I say younger, I mean like early 20s, especially in IDSA, this imagination problem that they have is very big. Now, there's one more thing I want to get to, is focus and presence. How do you get there? But before we get to that, since we're on imagination, is there any exercises you would recommend for actors who have trouble with that? Like any like things to build up your imagination?
Yeah, I mean, we can use things like, if you know that your story is set in Detroit in 1982, you can look at images, start to find that, get like a playlist going, build up all of your senses. Like our emotional connection is through our senses. So as actors, we want to like really fuel that and ignite it. I think as well, if like get images, find music, and then sit and imagine, like based on the story that you're telling, imagine what if. I mean, it's that big what if I was in these shoes? What if I was doing this? I think sensorially, it's important to start cultivating that within your own life. So like imagine if you spent a day on just what you could see and you only could look for purple, yellow and red things in the world.
Oh.
Suddenly your eyes wake up to the everyday of your world. Like if all you could look for is red things in this room now, you're like, oh, I never noticed that, or I never, you know.
Actually, I like that.
Wake that up. And then the same with like sound, taste, smell, touch. Build your sensorial understanding of yourself in your world, in your day-to-day. So everything, the mundane becomes really fascinating.
So good.
But also visualization. I mean, a lot of these actors, they're big on the whole manifesting, and they're like, want to do that, but that involves visualizing. So visualize your scenario that your character's in, but also visualize how do you see this? And we have this incredible wisdom in our imagination. It's insane what we can do. Dream recall. If you have a dream, wake up, write it down. Like what's your imagination telling you? What is your inner vision telling you? Get really curious with it. It's fascinating. I feel like I'm going to have a great exercise after this podcast about imagination that I can't think of right now. But it is, you have to think like children as actors. Like I said before, we were all born actors. Children are amazing at playing shops. They set up an amazing shop. They've got an outfit. They've got they know where the door is to walk in, and if you don't walk in the door, they tell you to go back and come in through the door. They've got it really clear in their mind. Yes, their attention span might wane a little bit, and then they need juice or they need something, but they are fully invested. And if you don't play in accordance to how they see it, they tell you no, don't do that. It's only 3 pencils that you can buy, and you're like, oh right, sorry, yeah, I didn't realize that was the rules. But they have it in their minds and they commit to it. There's no child that does not commit to the world that they've created. And then I see actors, they come in and I'm like, great, right, so where are we? We're in my kitchen. Right, are you drinking coffee? Are you, what's happening? And this is nothing. And I'm like, okay, can we start making make-believe happen here, because it's going to help your body. How you move will be directly influenced by the space you're in. So let's set up a space that makes you feel like that. And yeah, I felt like you were scribbling something down then, and I was like, what did I just say?
No, you gave me an idea for something, and I don't want to talk about it on air because I don't want anybody to steal it.
You don't want me to steal it either.
I don't want you. I'm not going to ever tell you. No, I'm going to tell you after it airs, or after it airs, after the show's done. Well, this goes into being present and focus, and I think the sensory work that you were talking about really should help actors become present in a scene, because a lot of times I feel what you said, you feel a scene is dead or flat. I'm like, where are you mentally? I feel like you're judging yourself, or there's fear going on, or you're just, this is how we practiced it, this is how it should be, and like that tenseness happens, or maybe they're pushing too much, they're trying to force it. How does one, in your opinion, work on their self-awareness to become more present, to become more focused in a scene?
I think it's useful for them to become aware of their space. It's amazing how few people are spatially aware.
Mm-hmm.
That gives them the awareness of, whether we're doing stage or screen, the awareness of the space. So if they know what the shot is, it's like there's a difference, to the close-up, to the mid-shot, to the wide. And the same with a stage. So the awareness of the space, but then always to really see your partner. And there's a difference from looking to really seeing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And when you really see someone and let it in, be affected by them. I'm about to start next semester a module called The Vulnerability of Acting.
Ooh.
Because I really want people to get used to allowing themselves to be seen and see. And I think so much of that presence comes from just softening into that availability, to not know the answers. That's being in the moment. We don't know. We didn't know that power cut was going to go off. We do not know what's about to happen. But I can be here right now and be affected. And if I've done all the work and all my lines are there, I don't need to worry about them. I don't need to think about my lines. My lines are there. But if I can really see my partner, let them affect me, let them in, become available, then it's interesting. Then you're going to let me lean in as the audience to go, what's going on there? You become fascinating when you allow yourself to be seen.
Yeah. I do that too sometimes. I'm like, I get too relaxed, so I'm like this.
Sinking behind the line. I can't see you now, Wesam.
I don't want you to see me.
You can just see 2 eyes peeking.
You know who's really good at that? I forget. He just started getting into TV. I think we have the picture pulled up. Peyton, do you have that picture on? Yeah, great. He's so good at just letting his body be. And you'll recognize him. He's one of the instructors at IDSA, Anthony Mark Barrow. You familiar with this guy? So good. So good at like letting his body just like relax into something. And you're like, oh, that's an interesting choice. Oh.
I mean, look at that. It's like smouldering. It's the smoulder look he does so well.
I mean, the most, I mean, that would be considered uncomfortable, right? But
he's settled into that concrete, hasn't he?
right.
Like his face is molded.
It's quite incredible, really. I mean, honestly, if I was his rep, I'd be like, that's your new headshot, buddy. I mean, incredible. By the way, he posted his entire scenes on his stories, which I didn't know you were allowed to do. And then I looked into it. You're not. I love that man so much.
I do too. He's like a brother to me.
He's like, for me, not a brother, but like that, you know, that old guy in the neighborhood who's like just on his last leg.
Yeah,
and
he's older than me.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I'm going to get your newspaper today. That's what he's like to me. I want to help you out today, man. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Did
Look at that face.
Did you guys watch his Criminal Minds stuff?
No.
Oh, you're missing out. It's actually
he good?
Oh, yeah, he's actually really good in it. Yeah.
It's very good as well. And it's funny because I was doing animal study with my group, and he was like, oh my God, I forgot the fun. I forgot the fun of animal study for a character. I know what his animal was.
What is it?
Am I allowed to say? Is that like...
Yeah, they're not bringing him back. No. What is it?
He explored the crab.
Oh.
So this kind of like side on and very much like the pinchers.
Yeah.
And I remember his hands, because at first I thought he was doing like a tarantula.
Right.
In that first scene when he's, and he's kind of like, he's positioned, not in this one. I mean, there's a nice side angle there for a crab. But yeah, it was about the keeping himself shielded, and side on. And if you notice his body language, he's side on in that scene.
Oh.
Like, just dodging round.
You know what I would have said? I would have guessed.
What?
Two animals. One is a tapir. Have you heard of a tapir? You know what a tapir is? Yeah. You guys know what a tapir is?
No.
Pull it up. We could do a side by side. I might be wrong. And the other one's I forget what it's called. You know the groundhogs?
Oh yeah. Really? Groundhog?
Yeah.
I was thinking more like snail going up that wall at the I mean, there's real like pressure going up. I want to see this tape.
Snail is actually good because of the way the way he speaks.
Look at that. Tapirs look much cuter.
Anthony.
Oh, look at that little tapir.
Anthony's gonna kill me when he sees this.
He's going to kill me as well. He's probably going to fire me now, thanks to you.
It's okay. We'll start it off.
The thing is, I've known his wife longer than him, so...
Troy's great.
I mean, he's so lucky.
He is.
He did so well there.
I don't know how it happened.
So lucky.
His son's so great, so smart, intellectual, all from Troy.
Yeah, all from Troy. I've known Troy for a long time. And then when I first started working for Identity, Anthony Mockbarrow's face popped up on my Facebook, and I was like, whoa, why is my boss coming up on my feed?
Whoa.
And then I was like, oh, that's Troy's husband.
It's hilarious.
But we come from the same place as well. We come from Birmingham.
You and Anthony.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we have a shared... Literally, the number 51 bus would go from Walsall to Perry Bar, which is the route for both me and Anthony to get into Birmingham Town Centre.
Small world. Look at you. Look at you guys now.
Look at us now.
Working with the best actor.
See? With
That's
the best
crazy.
hair and the best power walking.
World class. My power walking might be better than my acting, actually.
Okay.
That's saying a lot.
When's the Olympics?
This year. Shit. I gotta practice.
Is there an age limit for the Olympics? Is
No.
there?
Oh, speaking of power walking. See, he started running at the end. He cheated.
You got so mad.
Oh, you get
Yeah.
so competitive,
You
aren't
got
you?
so mad.
Yeah, because we're supposed to be... This is what was happening. We're supposed to be both power walking, and then look at him. He starts running.
Yeah, that's just...
Starts running. That's so... Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You don't cheat with me. That doesn't count.
Okay, we have to try a power walk.
Yeah, we'll do that outside.
Okay.
That'll be the teaser for the clip. But in all seriousness, Anthony is an extraordinary actor,
Yeah.
and I tease him constantly, but he is absolutely extraordinary, and I can't wait to work with him again in another TV show.
He really is. He absolutely, I think, embodies the passion for the craft.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's such an example as the head of acting for our school. He's like, he walks the walk, you know, and just shows everyone like this is what it is. And there's times when he just really commits to the teaching, and then he's on, you know, top work, top sets, and then the students get to witness that. It's so amazing.
You know how rare that is to have a
So-
school with working and like actors who are teaching acting, just in that like small section of the all-encompassing things that IDSA teaches. Like
Yeah.
that's really rare.
Yeah. And shares the same equal passion for his teaching to his acting.
Yes.
A lot of working actors that kind of teach to make some money and don't really care about it, but it's both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Wish him the best of luck.
Him and Troy are my family, so they're like, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna make another joke, but we're gonna end it nice.
End it nice.
I'm ending it nice.
Because I have to keep my job.
I know. You're not gonna get. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Rebecca, nobody's gonna get you in trouble. Trust me.
Oh,
We'll
thanks.
edit it all out if something happens. God forbid. What's okay? This is my new thing. I hate small talk. Right.
I hate that as well. It's just so tedious, isn't it? Surface is so dull.
So I'm doing this new thing.
Okay.
What's bringing you happiness nowadays?
Right now is I'm staying at my friend's house and I'm looking after her aging dog Jackson, and the
Okay.
amount of joy I have from like looking after a furry soul is immense. But always nature. Get me under a tree, get me noticing the birds. It's always that simple things.
Any specific type of tree you like, or any kind of big tree, or little tree? I don't know.
Whatever trees in my vicinity is the first thing with LA. I like trees that you're like, wow, you've been here. You've lived. You were here way before. There's something about that that's very comforting to me. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna go a
so-
little deeper now.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I
What-
phrased it wrong. In my head, I was gonna go. What's bringing you fear nowadays?
Oh.
Yeah, but we don't have to. We don't have. It was phrased. I was gonna say, are there any things in your life that you used to fear that you have overcome?
Yeah, I think what's interesting about fear that makes it reminds me when I'm working with actors, when you go on a bit of a journey of grief or healing, and I feel like LA, when I moved to LA 10 years ago, this city, I met the best tribe of people, and I went on a journey of really like discovering who I am. And when you go through grief and when you go through journeys and when you really fully feel, you come out the other end and you're not so scared then of the moments that you're going to have hard times or grief, because you know that it's an energy. You have to go through it. So fear, yeah, I've always got the fear of like, oh, getting enough money and where's this happening? But then I have to release it and be like, you've got this. You can breathe through it. I'm not afraid to feel what I have to feel. I'm not afraid to do that. And I'm fortunate that I have good friends that hold the space for me when I need that, a partner that lets me be my full self. And full self is like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I need to get it all out. And it's just, and then by day one, next day, I'm like, oh, I think it's this. And okay, I just need to be a little bit more compassionate with myself and kinder. I think we forget how crazy the world is running at the moment. You know, we came out of the pandemic and everything's just sped back up again. When we try and maintain that builds a lot of stress and anxiety. And when we can just go, I don't need to abide by the rules that society set up. I need to abide by what am I feeling and what do I need right now. And so there are days when, yeah, I need space and I need to be kinder to myself and not put pressures on like, oh, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. The minute should comes in, I'm like, well, that's not what I should be doing then. You know, I could do this, or maybe, you know, it's more about, there's always fear, but it's like you've got to breathe through it. And I'm not afraid to feel. I'm not afraid to feel. And sometimes that feeling is a lot. But I know when I get to the end of it, I'll feel lighter, and I'll feel like I'm always questioning, like, what can I do? And I think moving through it is the only way.
Absolutely. I think that comes with the experience you've had, knowing that, hey, I've been through all this. I can get through this too. I think that helps out tremendously. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Okay. A few days ago, last week, that big IT thing. Did you hear about that? All the blue screens?
No, where have I? I've been literally looking after a one-eyed dog called Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
Only watching Glow.
Really?
Yeah, because
okay.
my friend's on that, so.
Okay, so a few days ago, and Peyton, you know about this, right, sir? Mm-hmm. Okay. Alex as well? Okay. There was a big, it wasn't a hack, really, was it? No.
It was a bad update.
Software update gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Software update gone wrong for Windows.
Ooh.
To the point where it was a catastrophic failure for a lot of systems, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, but remember, it's not Microsoft's fault. It's
Yeah.
the security. I forget what they're called. It's a security company.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, and a
Malware.
bunch of businesses use it. And so a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a Microsoft outage. It is not a Microsoft outage. Microsoft computers have all been affected by this poor update from this security company due to one line of code that basically makes Windows start repeating itself over and over and over again and crashing. And the only way to repair it is for them to send out people to manually fix each computer. You cannot just fix this with an update. So airports were down, businesses were down. I have a box of toilet paper coming from Amazon, and they're like, it might be a day late because stuff's not working. It's crazy.
Yeah, half the 3 airplane companies couldn't fly. There was a map of how many airplanes didn't fly yesterday or
Yeah.
the day before.
This all happened yesterday.
Well, a few days ago, because when
oh,
this
yeah.
airs and stuff like that, yeah. But
Oh, it's going to be more than a few at that
I know,
point.
guys, Rebecca. Okay. I'm joking. Well, the reason I brought this up.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Okay.
I find it interesting how this thing was going in a loop, and you were talking about, the stress of life sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't you ever feel like we get into these like negative loop cycles, and we just keep going in a circle until something from the outside helps us get out of it.
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
I just find that very, very interesting how even in nature or even in human-made things that going in this cycle can be detrimental to us.
Massively. I think we have to be radical now and step out of that cycle all the time for just well-being. And I don't say that softly. I really, like, especially as artists, it's like you've got to detach, step away, find time, space, boredom, read, get away from that. It's a radical. The world's going to keep telling you to do more, to get busier, to find this new app, to be on computers. They're going to keep doing that. You have to be radical and go against that and step out of the cycle. And the biggest thing that anyone can do is go on a journey with themselves. So that it's like, okay, what's going on? What's going on today, Reaney? Come on, what do you need? So you have that relationship with yourself and not just getting caught up in the loop. And I think because it's so normal now, the speed of life, everyone on their phones, everyone, obeying these hidden rules of society, that people think that's normal and that's okay. And it's like, no, it's not. It's all fake and man-made, and it's built to generate, money and generate this. But you've got to be radical and go, I step aside now. I step off this loop. And how often do you need that? I need that a lot. I'm definitely like an empath, an introvert, and it's like, ooh, get me away, step away. I need to, decompress, gather my energy again, gather my thoughts, process what's going on, integrate that into my life. Next step, moving forwards.
Right.
Always. And there are times when, yes, it's manic and very busy, and that's great for whatever reason, if it's what you want. But then there are times when you need to step out of that. And if you're struggling in life, I think it calls for even more space to step away from that cycle and breathe and remember the world does keep turning. I can't keep up with that pace, but I need to gather myself.
Have you found your purpose in life?
I don't know. I feel very alive and lit up with... I mean, my dream is to write a book about this creativity and this connection and this journey with yourself for actors, so they get curious and take them on a journey with themselves. But the purpose in life?
Your purpose.
That's a really deep question, isn't it?
And if you haven't, I'm just curious if you have or not.
When doing the work I'm doing, it feels very aligned with my calling. But then on an even deeper level, I don't like that. I don't like that what I do is what defines me. Or...
I don't think that should define you.
No, definitely not.
I mean, even if it's that if it's your purpose, I don't think that's necessarily the definition of you or a defining moment of you.
I definitely know I want to be in more creative spaces, and I'd feel really aligned then. Like in the rehearsal room, I love it when I'm in a rehearsal room or in a theatre, doing what I do, coaching actors, supporting them, finding the solutions. I feel like on, and I feel this like energy that's unlike a feeling of work. Yeah.
When set feels like a rehearsal and like that, where you're trying to find it, those are the best moments. Those are the best days on set.
Yeah.
Where everybody's trying to find it and the flow is happening. Oh, so magical.
Do you know, I lived in Germany for 5 years, and you know the word for acting is Schauspiel. And Schauspiel, and like a theatre is called a Schauspielhaus.
Schauspielhaus.
And Schauspiel, when you break it down, Schau is to show and Spiel is play. So the word for acting in German is showing play. You're just showing play. So it goes back to that, just kids playing shops.
Yeah.
Ja, genau.
Cool. Schauspiel.
Schauspiel. That's terrifying. German's great to just terrify people with.
Oh, so is Arabic. Yeah. Especially during boarding. Just kidding. It was a joke. It was a joke.
That was a loud guffaw, but yes, I can imagine. My friend used to say to me whenever I was walking to an airport, what's your favourite perfume? And I'd be like, Flower Bomb. She's like, what is it? I was like, Flower Bomb. Why are you asking me? Flower what? Bomb. And then I was like, oh my gosh, you do this every single time I'm in an airport.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
You ever watching Practical Jokers?
Yes, there's, as in like a TV show. There's
the 4 comedians.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I love it.
Are they from Chicago or from where are they from?
I don't know.
What are they called? They are hilarious.
Yeah, I like the joy I get from watching.
What are they called?
Impractical Jokers.
Is that the name of the show?
Yeah.
I didn't know what's but it's like Sal.
Yeah.
Sal, I love them. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
I mean, the idea of putting your friend through hell is always one of my favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
I think one of the best ones I saw was the feminist one, where one of them is at a feminist like talk, and he's like being the most misogynistic guy ever, and oh my gosh, he is like just sweating. Everybody hates him.
It is so good.
Oh my God, I love it. Oh, if I could do that with Anthony one of these days.
You'd be brilliant. You two would be brilliant at that.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love to do it to you too, Peyton.
Why? What did I do?
Nothing. I love you. That's why I
You
want
can't
to
scare me.
I'm not going to scare you.
You can't scare me.
I'm not going to scare you. I'm just going to put you in an uncomfortable position. What would you put me
Why
in?
does this bring you joy?
Because I love you.
Okay. That's a funny way of showing it.
No, it's love. It's love.
It's love?
Yeah.
What would I do to you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your idea?
Well, he loves being on set. He loves being, able to play it. So he gets a job, and then he has to be a really difficult actor. You constantly keep leaving set because you've got a bladder problem or something. Or something that, and it's your favourite director, it's your favourite show you're working on. and your job is to be the worst actor, the most inconsistent, unreliable actor. You know, I actually got hired by the BBC to be an actor for new directors, to like train new directors for like for soaps and stuff. And then they give the actors things to do, like, okay, I need you to now just walk off set. And it used to be the hardest thing to do. And they're doing it so that they're trying to train the directors to, like, how do you navigate when an actor just walks off set? But I think if we actually put you on a set and then you had to be the worst actor, he wouldn't be able to do it.
No, I would.
Would you?
Yeah, if it was a really big actor or director, I'd do it.
Be the worst?
Be the worst actor for them? Yeah.
Really difficult to work with.
Yeah, I love cringe, so that'd make me cringe. And so I think I'd have to do it at that point. For the experience alone. It'd be the craziest feelings ever to experience. I used to have intrusive thoughts the first time I was on set, and I never acted upon them, for the record. But it would make me feel on the inside. Just imagine like it was my first guest spot, like on The Mentalist, and I just go up to the camera and I push it down and like break it in front of everybody, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know, and I don't know. It just made me like start sweating when I would think about that.
I've had thoughts like that. What is that in the human mind? Why do we go there?
I think it's violence. It's a caveman brain. There's some violence in you, Rebecca. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Violence.
Let's trash
Aggression.
Let's trash this studio.
Let's beat the crap out of Peyton.
No, I wasn't thinking that. I just was. No.
Sorry.
Why did you go there?
No, I'm sorry. I really thought that's what you were.
I was gonna just like flip the table.
Slap Peyton.
No slapping.
Oh, that's what you looked at him and you did that.
No, I did not look.
You literally looked at Peyton.
I looked at you.
No,
and
you
did that.
No, you looked at Peyton. Let's run it back. Yeah, you looked at Peyton. He just ran it back. Sorry, Rebecca. I've been in your classes. You scream a lot at the kids.
Oh, do I scream?
Yeah, you're screaming at the students, and then I've seen you kick somebody. I'm kidding. If someone believes that, they're crazy. Come on.
You made my mom believe Zeke had one arm. You're very convincing.
Yeah, we have an intern here who left our studio. I forgot to bring that up to her. It's every episode I'm trying to make the guests believe. That's my ongoing personal joke. He left to go back to Oklahoma. Yeah, he's like an idiot. He left this show, you know what I mean? And so I've been just telling the guests that he's lost his arm in a farming accident.
But now I can't believe anything because now we've already heard this.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't think I would believe that.
Oh, you would have believed it.
Would I?
Oh, I would have made you believe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
World class.
Actor, power walker, disco dancer. There he is.
Before we end, we're ending. Oh, dang it. Okay, we're gonna.
Bye, Adobe.
Our time on Adobe Radio has come to an end. However, you can watch the full episode tomorrow on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you for tuning in. Where can they follow you if they want to follow you?
At Rebecca Reaney on Instagram.
Great.
Links to everything on that. Yeah.
Sweet. Great. Thank you for tuning in. The show continues on. You're an intimacy coach as well.
Yeah.
Which I think, is that a brand new thing that they brought on in the last decade or so?
Yeah. Following the Me Too movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting industry. I wanted to, you don't have to have any qualifications to do it, but there is a certification so that you understand the impacts. It's quite a legal job, and especially like a coordinator on set. There's a lot. You've got riders to deal with. There's a lot going on, but I was interested in it because I do a lot of it with live theatre, with musical theatre, with plays, and younger actors coming in. And again, it's a little bit like this disconnect from the pandemic as well, like becoming very isolated. Contact was a scary thing, wasn't it? For, during the pandemic, it was like distance, getting too close to people. And so there's a wave of young people coming in that are quite physically guarded. And there's much more protocol now to make sure that we're leading consent-led rooms, which I think is brilliant. But there's also it's just there to support them to be able to tell these stories of intimacy. And I'm really fascinated by intimacy. I love that the word actually breaks down as into me see, and there's something about that that's about, it's not about, when you think of the word intimacy, it's not sexual. Kissing it's physical, but it's also mental, it's also emotional, it's spiritual. Intimacy is this like I was talking about earlier, this softening, this allowing yourself to be available. But what's great is that when I work with directors, I come in the room to choreograph the intimacy. The director's like, yeah, so there's a kiss here, there's this moment here, that there's like an attempted whatever. And when you check in with the actors and you get clear about what is okay for them, what are their boundaries, the more boundaries an actor has, the more they're not comfortable with something, the more interesting the story becomes for me to choreograph. If I have some actor that's like, there's a kiss here, these two kiss, and I'm like, okay, great. And then I do the check-in with my actors, and the one actor says, lip-to-lip contact, it's a red, it's a no. I'm like, okay. And the director said that they kiss, and I'm like, okay, so what's the story? Because a kiss is just a kiss, but what's the story? And then you find something so much more interesting, because then you're digging deeper into like, what do we want to see here? And I did it with, I just was intimacy director on Cruel Intentions, the musical in London. It just opened in the West End, January this year. And it was two boys were doing this kiss, and it resulted into something much more interesting that involved just closing the distance between them, no touch, finding shapes within that, where their eye line was going. And it was, I'd say, more intimate. It was hotter. It was sexier to watch than any kiss could ever have been. And it was completely in alignment with their boundaries, their consent, so that they were happy, they were comfortable. And we told the story. And the director said, yeah, I actually think I prefer it. So I always find the more no's I get, the more interesting my job has to become.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is why. Proves my theory right. A lot of times when an actor has, or a director for a short film, let's say, or something, has boundaries, like more rules set in place, I feel sometimes something really great happens. Yes. Where you're like, I can't find the solution to this problem, to this story I want to tell. And then all of a sudden, an idea you would have never thought of if those boundaries weren't there in the first place are there.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really happy you said that. That's really amazing.
Yeah, I think it's so empowering as well.
Yeah.
For everyone involved, it becomes a much more collaborative experience then. You know, the director's not the top of the chain of like order. It becomes like, no, we're working all together here.
Exactly.
And then I really open it up to the actors. I'm like, what story do you tell? Who do you think closes the distance here? So they have agency of like, well, I think it's my character. I think my character is the one that's initiating this. I'm like, great. So they're feeding into this. Mm-hmm. So then we're building this story, and then I get to tweak it, and I'm like, okay, we need to hold it for 2 more beats there. This picture, that picture. But all of it then, they feel so safe. They feel so heard. They feel they're going to bring their best work to it.
Absolutely.
And I always say that the word free, you're free to do anything, is terrifying. Give me the boundaries of like, all right, you've got 3 minutes, or you've got this, or we have this space, you've got this table. Give me the boundaries. I will be more freer within the confines of what the setup is than if you just say, you're free to do anything. That's dangerous. That's scary. So yeah, I love boundaries. Give me lots of, because I go through their bodies in like traffic lights. So like, what's a red area? What's an absolute no? What's a green? That's all good to go. And what's an amber? Amber's like, maybe.
Okay, so if I'm ever in an intimate scene with someone on a stage or set, and you're the intimacy coach, I'm gonna be like, I only kiss on the right cheek, and it's only in between the consonants of T and P that I will kiss this person on the right cheek.
You can easily be a difficult actor, can't you?
Oh, so easily.
Yeah.
But I'm not. That's why I'm the best.
Oh my God.
Someone is listening to this. This is going to clip out just that.
Is someone listening to this?
That's so rude.
Do people listen to this?
Of course. You've been talking to Anthony. Did Anthony tell you to say that? Whatever. You know, Rebecca, I thought I had a good time with you on the show.
Oh no, don't end it there.
Yeah, we're gonna end it there. No, I'm kidding. Before we go,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on the show, though.
Thank you, Wesam. I've loved this.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
We'll do it again soon. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Anthony doesn't have that invite, does he?
He does. He gets good numbers because they're. Oh no, never mind.
Oh no.
See, this is why.
You're going to inflate him.
No,
with
I
his-
edited something terrible I was going to say, and I didn't say it, and I'm proud of myself for not saying it.
Good.
Because I want a career,
Good.
and they want careers.
Yeah.
And you want a career.
Yeah. We all want careers.
So you know what? A pat on the back for me for not saying that.
Okay.
No, he gets good numbers. People feel really. They're like, that's really cool. You bring somebody on like for the Make-A-Wish thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. I'm a good guy.
Oh, Wesam, you're making this. I'm cringing a little bit now.
Why?
Yes, just
Why?
a little tightening happened there.
I know. It's okay.
I've got to warm up for the Power Walk Challenge.
Oh yeah, we're gonna rock this. If people want to sign up for IDSA,
Yeah.
they just go to the website, correct? I'm assuming
Yeah.
there's a whole process of auditioning, if I'm not mistaken, or an
Yeah.
interview process before being accepted.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, highly recommend signing up. Not just because, that was gonna come out weird. I don't know what's going on. My eyes are so do my eyes look puffy?
No.
Okay, because I
is the
feel like a
third time you
pressure.
said it.
I feel like there's a pressure behind my eyes. It might be from the stress of that thing we talked about earlier.
I mean, you keep talking about it and you've been looking at me for the last hour, so maybe it's that.
It's not you. If anything, talking to you has made me feel better.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a shining light at IDSA and outside of IDSA.
Ah, thank you.
As the British would say, a thatched roof in winter works well. However, when the thatched roof is built underneath the church, towards the east, from the depths of the hollows come the beasts. It's an old UK saying. I don't know if you knew that.
Now, that's what I could believe, because I'd want to believe that that was a saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that you brought back the thatch.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Callbacks.
Great thatch.
Circle cinema.
That should be your hashtag.
What?
Great thatch.
Great thatch. What's a hatch?
A hatch?
Yeah.
Isn't that like a little door that's connected to like?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Down the hatch.
What's a
Down the
bat?
hatch.
Down the hatch, top of the hatch, down the start on the thatch, down the hatch. I'll figure out
Don't
something. I'll
Just
figure out
great thatch.
something. Yeah.
Solid thatch.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Wesam.
Thank you for being silly. Thank you for the great talk. At Rebecca Reaney, where they can follow you on Instagram.
Yep.
Sign up for IDSA. Amazing movement classes. Amazing classes in general, not just taught by Rebecca, but all the teachers there. Other than that, play us out, Peyton. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Hit the subscribe button. Comment down below. It's been helping out with the algorithms. We've been growing. We appreciate you all. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk. Bye.